Welcome, my friend. The storm rages outside, but here, in the quiet of this story, I invite you to find peace. Let the sound of the rain and the distant thunder guide you as you drift into a place of calm. This story is my gift to you, a gentle companion for a night of restful sleep. Relax, let go of the day, and let the story carry you into dreams. It's late, or maybe it's early, depending on how you look at it. I've been working the night shift here at this office for, well, long enough that the place feels like a second home now. Too many sleepless nights, too many quiet hours spent in this sterile building. At least it's quiet, mostly. I thought it was just another night. The usual routine: check the emails, make sure everything's locked up, go through the security footage. But tonight something's different. I can't put my finger on it, but there's this feeling. It's almost as if I'm being watched. I keep telling myself it's nothing. I mean, the office is practically empty, just me and the flickering lights. I'm sitting here at my desk, looking through the windows that overlook the dark streets. The building's mostly deserted. The hum of the air conditioning, the only thing keeping me company. It's one of those nights where even the silence feels loud. That's when I hear it. Well, what a thunder, let's go, footsteps. But it's weird. The sound doesn't come from the hallway. Not at first. It seems to come from somewhere deeper in the building, a place I can't quite make sense of. I freeze, trying to focus, listening to the rhythmic thump-thump echoing across the floor. My heart starts to race as I try to ignore it, telling myself it's just the building settling or a glitch in the air ducts. But no, the footsteps keep getting louder, and they're definitely coming closer. I look around the empty office, checking the rows of cubicles, the glass partitions. I know no one's here. I check the schedule. No one's supposed to be working the night shift except me. I stand up, half expecting to see a shadow passing by the door. But there's nothing. The hallway is empty, the light above me flickering, as if mocking me. I swallow hard and take a step into the hallway, trying to move as quietly as possible. The footsteps stop. For a second, I think I imagined it. Maybe I'm just tired. Been working too many late shifts, burning the candle at both ends. But then, I hear it again. The footsteps. They're closer now, right behind me. I turn around, and for a split second I see it. Just a flash. The outline of someone tall, dark, standing in the shadow of the hallway. But the moment I blink, it's gone. I'm left alone in the dark, my breath catching in my throat. The hairs on my neck stand up, and I backpedal towards the door, my pulse pounding. There's no sound now, no footsteps, just the thick, suffocating silence. I try to tell myself it was just a trick of the light, or maybe I'm just paranoid. But deep down, I know something's wrong. I'm not alone here. I turn back to my desk, trying to steady my breathing. But when I glance into the reflection of the window, I see something that makes my blood run cold. In the reflection, standing right behind me, is a figure. I love the sound of thunder. Okay, go on. Thank you, let's move on. I turn around so fast, my chair nearly topples over, but there's nothing there. The hallway is empty again, just shadows, just the same long stretch of empty space that I thought I'd seen 100 times. My heart is hammering in my chest. I'm staring at the empty doorway, willing myself to see something, anything move, but it's all still. The office is still. I'm still just a guy working a shift, trying to finish the day. I shake my head, trying to clear the fog that's gathering in my brain. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Maybe the isolation is starting to get to me. The silence is oppressive, and the stillness of the office feels wrong, like it's hiding something. But I need to focus. I need to calm down. I reach for my phone to check the time, but as my fingers brush against it, someone bangs on the window behind me. The sound is deafening, making me jump out of my skin. My breath hitches, as I whip around, heart thudding in my chest. And there it is again, that dark figure. It's standing outside the window now, pressed against the glass, its face just out of reach. Its hands are flat against the window, its fingers splayed wide, almost too wide. I freeze, my stomach churning. The figure doesn't move. It's just there, staring. No features, just a shape, a dark, unnatural shape, like a shadow cast wrong. I can't see its face clearly, but I can feel it. Its eyes, staring. I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself. This isn't real. This can't be real. I know it can't be. But the closer I look, the more the figure seems to shift, like it's not quite there. Like the window doesn't quite separate us. Like there's no glass between us at all. I can hear the blood rushing in my ears, the steady thrum of my pulse, and I know I have to do something. I can't just stand here staring at it. I take a hesitant step forward, then another. But the figure, it moves, almost too fast to catch. The shadow shifts, vanishing from the window. It's gone, but I feel it. I feel it in my bones. The coldness crawling back into the room, as though it's still watching me. Suddenly the lights flicker. Once, twice. The room plunges into darkness for a second. But when the lights flicker back on, the figure isn't outside anymore. It's standing inside the room, right behind me. I spin around again, but there's nothing. Just the empty office. I know it was real. It was here. I know what I saw. But now, it's gone. No trace, no shadow, except for the feeling that it's still with me, that it never left. I can't breathe. The air in the room feels thick, suffocating, like it's pushing against me. My pulse is racing, my hands shaking. I can still feel it, that thing, its presence lingering in the air, pressing in on me, even though I can't see it anymore. Okay, let's continue. My eyes dart around the room, searching every corner, every shadow, every inch of the office. But there's nothing there. It's just the same empty space. The silence is unbearable. The kind of silence that wraps itself around you and makes you question whether you're really alone. I can't get rid of the feeling that something is watching me, waiting for me to let my guard down. I move to the desk, fumbling to grab my phone, desperate for something to ground me in reality. I swipe through it quickly. No missed calls, no messages. But as I try to focus on the screen, the room goes cold. So cold. I look up, and the shadows in the corners of the office seem to grow, like they're stretching toward me, thickening, suffocating the light. The coldness in the room deepens, and I hear it again. The sound of breathing. Not mine. Something else. It's close now, closer than before. I can't pinpoint where it's coming from, but it feels like it's all around me. I turn toward the door, half expecting to see the figure standing there, blocking the exit. But there's nothing. The hallway is empty. Just the same flickering lights. I take a slow step forward, and then another. My eyes scan the room one more time. I don't know why I feel the need to check. Maybe I'm hoping it will be gone. That whatever it was, whatever I thought I saw, would just vanish. That's when I hear it again. The footsteps. Thump, thump, thump. Slow, deliberate, heavy. The sound isn't coming from outside the door this time. It's coming from the hallway inside the office. I freeze, my hand trembling as I reach for the door handle. But it's not fear that's keeping me rooted in place now. It's curiosity. Or maybe it's that same unease, that primal need to understand what's happening, to face whatever is here with me. I slowly pull the door open, but I can't prepare myself for what I see next. The hallway is still empty, but the moment I step out, I hear it. A whisper, a voice, but not a voice at all. It's like the sound of wind, of 1,000 breaths, all hissing the same word in my direction. Behind you. I spin around, my heart slamming into my chest. But there's nothing there. No figure, no shadow. Just the emptiness of the hallway, stretching behind me. The dull hum of the overhead lights, echoing in the silence. But the whisper, the voice hasn't stopped. It's growing louder now. It's not just in my ears. It's in my head. It's inside me, filling every part of my mind, twisting my thoughts. I try to shut it out, but it's relentless. Behind you. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself, but it's useless. I can feel it. I can feel it moving. The air shifts, heavy and cold. Something is coming. Before I can react, I hear the footsteps again. They're closer this time, unmistakably close, right behind me. I turn, and there it is. It's standing there, the figure, but it's not the same as before. Its face, if you can even call it a face, is twisted, contorted into something beyond human. Its eyes are black voids, swallowing every bit of light. Its mouth, no, its jaw, is stretched wide open, unnaturally wide, like it's about to consume everything around it. The air in the room is sucked away, and all I can hear is the sound of its breath, ragged, wet, almost alive. The figure steps forward. I can't move. I can't breathe. I'm frozen in place, trapped in this space between terror and disbelief. I want to scream. I want to run, but I know it's too late. The figure lifts its hand, and it's not just a hand. It's something else. Its fingers are too long, too thin, bending at angles that don't belong to a human being. It reaches toward me, its finger just a breath away from touching my face. And then I hear it, the sound that cuts through everything, the crack of its neck snapping backward. I blink, and suddenly, the figure is gone. I'm standing alone in the hallway, gasping for air. The lights above flicker erratically. My heartbeat is so loud in my ears, I can barely hear anything else. I look around, expecting to see it standing behind me again, but there's nothing. Just the empty, cold hallway. The silence has returned, but it's not comforting. It feels like I've entered a space where time no longer exists, where reality bends and warps around me. I turn back to the office, but the door is now locked. I don't remember locking it. I didn't even touch the door. I look down the hallway, my breath shallow, my body shaking with fear, but there's no escaping it now. The whispers have stopped, but the presence remains. It's still here, watching, waiting, and the question I can't answer is, what does it want from me? The hallway is silent now. The door that was once locked is now wide open, but I can't bring myself to step through it. Every part of me wants to leave, but my legs feel frozen to the floor, heavy with fear. I glance over my shoulder, half expecting to see the figure standing there, but the hallway is empty. The air is thick with a tension I can't shake, and I know I feel it, that it's not over. Whatever I saw, whatever this thing was, it hasn't gone. It's still here, watching, waiting. I can feel its presence, like an oppressive weight, hanging just beyond the edge of my vision. I force myself to walk forward. Back into the office, the dim light casting long shadows on the floor. I turn toward the desk, the place I've sat 1,000 times before. But tonight, it feels different. It feels like I've crossed some invisible line, some threshold that I can never come back from. I sit down at the desk, my hands shaking as I try to compose myself, but the moment I look down at the screen, I freeze. The words are already there, typed out, clear as day. A message that wasn't there before. It's not over. You'll never leave. I stand up abruptly, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. I turn toward the window, expecting to see the figure standing outside again. But there's nothing. The city lights flicker in the distance, distant and unimportant. A wave of nausea hits me as I reach for the door. I can't stay here. I need to get out. I have to. But when I grab the handle, it's cold. Cold like it's been waiting for me to open it. I hesitate. But then, I hear it again. A voice. But this time, it's not a whisper. It's louder, clearer, and it's not coming from anywhere in the office. You're mine. I turn toward the voice, my body locked in place. But I know now that I'm not going anywhere. I've been here too long. This place, this office, it's not just a building anymore. It's a trap, and I've walked right into it. The lights flicker one last time, and the presence behind me grows. I can feel it closing in, like a hand around my throat. And then the darkness takes over. Sometimes, we think we can escape our fears, but they always find a way to follow us. Only by facing them can we truly be free.